Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about She-Ra Season 4, or why there's a very good chance there will not be a She-Ra Season 4. At least not on Netflix, just looking at some of the circumstantial evidence. Now, if you're a She-Ra and the Princesses of Power fan, that's totally fine. You're allowed to be.
You're allowed to like it, you're allowed to not like it.
We haven't been big fans of the show on this channel, but you know, we're being objective and we're just looking at the business reasons why this might not happen. And there's some stuff that's come up in the last couple of weeks, especially with Netflix, that seems to indicate that they're cutting costs, and animated series like She-Ra are expensive. Even an animated show that's done on the quote-unquote cheap is still pretty expensive.
Right.
You know, $500,000, $750,000, it's expensive. She-Ra is probably a very expensive show to produce, and Netflix is trying to save money. So we're going to go into the reasons for why you probably will not see a Series 4. Probably.
Season 4.
Season 4.
But you might.
You might. Well, I'll be honest, you might. But this is why I'm saying right now, if I were going to bet on it, I actually would not bet on it.
Yeah, I agree.
So, before we get into the video, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants if you have not done so already. The channel has exploded over the last couple months. We're over 50,000 subs. We'd love to hit 100,000 by the end of the year. That would be amazing. I don't know if it's going to happen.
But it'd be cool.
I don't know if it's going to happen, but it'd be cool. So thank you so much, everybody, for your support. So there's a lot of speculation. As soon as She-Ra Season 3 came out, the media, the friendly media, the media that loves She-Ra, is all about Season 4. Well, where is it going to go? You know, what are we going to do?
The thing about, I've always found it funny they're calling it seasons anyway. I'm sorry, 6 to 7 episodes is not a season.
I would say She-Ra is at most 2 seasons, and they took the second season and split it in half.
Right, at the most. I'd still say it's 1 season, but you know.
Well, because the first season did have kind of an ending with the magical Care Bear stare they did. Now, I did not watch seasons 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
You said that 2 and 3 actually got better, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, like when I say better, like it's just like someone said, it's you know, poop still smells bad, but you might smell a little better if you spray it with perfume, you know?
Perfuma.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I mean, it's not, the second and third season did get better. The writing did anyway. They seemed more, especially the third season, because they seemed like they weren't doing all the side filler fluff crap.
Yeah.
There wasn't princess proms, and there wasn't, you know, let's play D&D outside of the place we're going to attack. It stayed on target.
In the tent with lights where anybody could find you. Yes.
It stayed on target. It stayed mostly on target for the story, which was a nice change. So that in that regard, it did tighten up some. The animation seemed to have tightened up some too, because the first season was all over the place.
Yeah, well, that happens with a lot of shows where the first season's not spectacular. The better stuff comes later as people kind of get in the groove.
So objectively, it's better. They're better for that reason. I still don't think that's good, but it's objectively better in those regards. Anyway.
Yeah. So objectively, I'm going to say the chances of there being a 4th season at this point are pretty slim. And first, we're going to go into the Netflix reasons, the business reasons for that, the announcement about the new He-Man show from Mattel directly, not from Dreamworks, but from Mattel. And the fact that some of the people working on the show are currently looking for work, which is never a good sign if they're planning on doing a season 4. Now, it is possible they could get the band back together, but usually when they break up a team working on a show, that's pretty much it.
Right.
That's pretty much it, because it takes years, you know, to get these animated shows off the ground. So, of course, the big elephant in the room is He-Man and his massive muscles.
No, they having a fit about it?
Yeah, they are. The Mary Sue's having a fit. Lots of people are having a fit. Comic Book Resources was having a fit.
And they all make it about She-Ra. What's funny to me is the announcement about He-Man. There was no announcement for She-Ra at PowerCon. The announcement about He-Man, but somehow He-Man, who was first, we have to continually make it all about She-Ra.
Yeah, because that's these websites are all about She-Ra. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I think He-Man, the second coming, well, this would actually be the 4th or 5th coming of He-Man. He-Man comes a lot. Because he's able to, because he's got the power. Anyway, what do you think I'm talking about? I'm talking about him returning because he's so popular.
Okay.
So He-Man is returning again for the 4th or 5th time, and that, frankly, is going to overshadow anything to do with the new version of She-Ra, because they are returning to the roots from what it sounds like, even though there's been talk that Teela might be the main character. You know, Mattel is overseeing this one directly, and that's a big thing, because DreamWorks, they kind of lucked out and got the license on the cheap, and they kind of did whatever the hell they wanted to do. Mattel's trying to get all their licenses back. They want to be like Hasbro, where they control all of their own stuff.
Yeah, well, here's hoping they get it all back, because that's what I want to see.
Yeah, but they're bringing out classic figures. They're banking heavily on classic He-Man. They have a movie coming out. Not completely sold on the casting, but they have a movie coming out. So they're going to try to probably do the best they can do to make sure.
I still want to see classic She-Ra figures that with brushable hair. I'm just saying.
I think you'll get them.
I better.
I think you'll get them. I think you're going to get them because I think once DreamWorks She-Ra is done, which it might possibly be done, that Mattel might go back and be like, let's bring She-Ra into the fold like we did before.
Here's hoping.
We'll see. So the Mary Sue's already lamenting that, Masters of the Universe story that you always wanted to see as a kid. This doesn't sound like my specific jam. I know there are a ton of people out there who will be really excited about this series. Maybe those men who love to write me long emails about how the new She-Ra is terrible and retroactively ruin their childhoods will finally find some peace knowing that something finally for once will be for them.
Well, you know what? Maybe I can write you and tell you, Vivian, as a woman, and tell you about how this new piece of garbage that you call She-Ra is, what did you put, retroactively ruining my childhood. I'm just tired of them saying how cheesy it is while the new show is full of its own brand of cheese. It's like Cheese Whiz compared to Brie, but cheese is cheese. And
Brie Larson?
No. There you go. It's not a whole other form of cheese. But I'm just saying, it's just, I'm tired of hearing this. And it's always men. It's always men. Even though the majority of people who I heard complaints from were women who grew up with She-Ra.
Yeah.
A lot of them were women and were female fans who grew up with She-Ra, and She-Ra meant something to them. We always totally disregard the women because that blows your narrative. We can't have that now, can we? We can't be whining about all the men if you have to address the fact that women hate it too. So, anyway, boo-hoo.
Yeah, boo-hoo. So, She-Ra, the new She-Ra show, they flat said that they're not going to use He-Man in it, probably because
the rights to use He-Man.
This was going to happen. No, there's not going to be a crossover. I saw some other articles out there showing how there could be a crossover. It's not going to happen. I think DreamWorks She-Ra is going to exist in its own little continuity bubble, and they're going to pop that bubble soon.
It's going to be another universe or something. It's going to be like, on another dimension, far, far away was this thing.
Kind of like the live-action He-Man movie. Where it's like, yeah, it happened, but we don't talk much about it.
Yeah, it's a dimension in someplace else we don't cross into.
Right. So that's probably what's going to happen. So the announcement that He-Man is coming overshadowed anything else at PowerCon.
And people are pissed about it. We have to make it about She-Ra again.
People are pissed about it because I do think that this means this is like strike number one for why we're not going to get more She-Ra, because I don't think Mattel is going to have this running alongside She-Ra. I think they're waiting until She-Ra's over, and then they're going to come in with He-Man. This is the big one. This is Ray Geiger, who is the character designer on She-Ra. I'm not pulling up Ray's Twitter for anyone to single them out. That's not the purpose of this. I just want to show you people that Ray is actually out there looking for work. See, looking for work right now. And if you go out, you can see that Ray is actually looking for coffee support. And if you go to Ray's resume, which is actually on their website, it's on their website, Ray was the lead character designer of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power from February 2017 to April 2019. Past tense.
Lead character designer on all seasons.
So it's not a good sign when your lead character designer is no longer working on the show.
Well, right below it, did you catch that? December 2018 to January 2019, High Guardian
Spice.
Character designer.
Now, here's the thing, though, too. We had heard before that there were other people associated with High Guardian Spice, which went missing. Mm-hmm. High Guardian Spice went missing. People who were associated with it before are actually out there looking for work, too. I think Kate Left was out there looking for work. They made a big deal about her working on the show. We don't know where High Guardian Spice is. Mm-hmm. We have no idea where High Guardian Spice is.
To be fair, though, they're doing the Crunchyroll Expo at the end of this month, so
that's possible they would
have
debut
some
it
news
there.
on it. But now you asked around a bit about what people were hearing.
Yeah. Okay. So what I have heard from multiple people is, obviously there's a bit of a kerfuffle, I think, between DreamWorks and Mattel because Mattel is handling He-Man. Mm-hmm. Mattel is handling He-Man themselves. DreamWorks is not involved at all. And I've heard before that the current CEO of Mattel, who was actually the CEO of Maker Studios. But he's not real happy with that DreamWorks Classic Media deal that was made, because Mattel basically just gave away the store, and now they want to be like Hasbro, where they control their own stuff. So it's very possible that they're just like, let this thing run its course. You know, they didn't promote it at all until they finally dropped a handful of dolls at the very, very end. Because Mattel just never seemed like they're that down.
Yeah, they really didn't. And they just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, they weren't even promoting it, the show.
No. Which was very odd, you know. And again, I think that there's some internal stuff going on with Mattel where they're like, you know, if we're going to do He-Man and She-Ra, we're going to do He-Man and She-Ra because we want to sell toys, which we're seeing that they're pushing really hard with these origin figures, bringing the original toys back out. You know, so I've heard that there's a bit of a power struggle there going on. Again, rumor, can't substantiate it, rumor. And now Netflix's new policy is basically, especially with them being cash strapped like they are right now, is cancel the show after 2 or 3 seasons. She-Ra's already had technically 3 seasons. I think it's more like 2 seasons. You know, Voltron was kind of a one-off, and that happened when Netflix was pretty much invincible.
Even then, it was another case where there weren't many episodes per season.
It was like 3 seasons split up over 8 seasons or 7 seasons or whatever they wound up doing. Yeah. So, you know, it would not surprise me. Now, I did not watch She-Ra season 3. It ended on a cliffhanger.
Kinda, yeah.
Kind of.
They could take it there if they wanted to, kind of thing.
Okay, so they could revisit it at some point in time. Now, the only saving throw, I think, for She-Ra, if it is indeed over, and again, just going by the fact that, you know, you're not hearing a lot of people talk about, there has been no announcement of a season 4, and that the people working on the show have moved on.
Well, at least one person.
At least one person, but that's a major person to move on. You know, you're going to keep the same character designer. You know, because you're going to have other characters to design.
And they're looking for work, so I don't think it was their choice.
I don't think it was their choice. There are people moving on. So, Universal Kids has a deal. Now, the Universal Kids, of course, Universal, DreamWorks are all owned by the same company, NBC Universal, that they're not developing original content anymore, that they're actually going to, you know, buy content from themselves, I guess, from DreamWorks Animation. It is theoretically possible that She-Ra could come back in some form, maybe on the Universal app, since it is a DreamWorks thing.
Maybe.
And not Netflix. Well, Universal Kids, yeah, they're not spending the money to develop their own content anymore. They're basically buying it from
but I
DreamWorks.
don't see why they put She-Ra on Universal Kids. I mean,
I'm trying to be optimistic.
They're gearing it at kids, but I'm like, they say it's quote unquote kids. I just don't know. I mean, to me, I always thought it ran younger than what they were saying She-Ra would be.
It does. I mean, that's okay.
They're talking about Sprout. They rebranded Sprout. When I think Universal Kids, I think Sprout age.
It is a very young channel. So I mean, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here and be like, She-Ra could maybe come back. They
did say that it resulted in a 73% rating decline between 2017 and 2018 by rebranding Sprout into Universal Kids. So maybe they would bring the stuff in to try to save Universal Kids. I have no idea. Yeah. I would think they'd put it on a streaming service or an app or something like that, most likely. If I were to guess, I can see that on a streaming service.
Yeah, I don't know, because it seems like, you know, we're kind of reaching the end of the line here for Tumblr's done. A lot of the Tumblr artists.
It's a moment of silence. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't care. That couldn't die fast enough.
A lot of the people working in animation and comics now came from Tumblr. Tumblr's done because Tumblr wasn't sustainable after you took the porn away.
You take those people into this stuff and it's not sustainable either. Who would have thunk it?
Right. So we have a lot of people, and it's kind of the same with comics, where a lot of people are sort of, you know, drifting through comics and leaving. We have a lot of the news outlets, the news outlets catering to millennials that are imploding. You know, and I'm just kind of wondering if this phase of, you know, pop culture is over. Like, is the Tumblr crowd done? Are we done?
One can hope.
So I don't know, because it seems like the companies are starting to wake up,
realizing that this wasn't the best choice.
They want to make money.
I mean, just because you're a big audience on Tumblr does not automatically translate to big audiences elsewhere. And that's, you know, I think they're starting to figure out.
Yeah, and it's starting to you know, like, what is the purpose of He-Man? It's to move merchandise. It's to sell tickets to the movie when it comes out. It's, you know, and the fact that they're only doing like 4 or 5 dolls and they're only available in Target, and it looks like they slapped them together and they made Glimmer too skinny, and even Tumblr's not happy about that. Who's going to buy these?
Right.
You know, and I mean, I don't know. And I could be completely wrong. I don't want anybody to be out of a job. That's not what I'm saying.
No. We don't want people to be out of jobs, but, you know, well, one person I would. But, you know, I'm just saying, it's just, it just seems weird. They're not hearing announcements, and the fact that they didn't get an announcement for She-Ra, everybody expected it.
At PowerCon?
Yeah. And now they're taking the He-Man, and they're all doing the He-Man article begrudgingly, but then making it all about She-Ra and all this. It just seems to me, you know, that would be the time they would have made an announcement for season 4.
Yeah, it is weird that they're, like you said, they're taking the opportunity to throw shade at He-Man by talking about She-Ra on all the outlets that propped up
They're making
She-Ra.
the first paragraphs about She-Ra, not about He-Man, which, you know, like He-Man's an afterthought when it was the other way around.
Yeah.
More like, you know, if I'm being fair and honest, She-Ra was the second, not He-Man. That always was the case, which doesn't make me happy, but it's the truth.
She was supposed to be in the 2002 series,
I know,
but they
at
canceled
the very
it.
end they canceled it.
Yeah,
so
they
I'm saying,
canceled
I
it.
mean, she always has been second to He-Man since the beginning, and I hate to say it, but it's true. And, you know, these people are mad because, oh, She-Ra, and it's what we wanted to see. It's what we wanted to see. But I thought it was for children.
But that's why
these media people aren't children, or are they?
the show is not for children. They tried the show is for young adults.
It's for Tumblr.
It's for Tumblr. Tumblr's over, and I think the show's over, and I think shows like Steven Universe are going to be over because the next generation, like Squid King's generation, they're not into this.
No,
they're not into this.
Nope.
So I think
they had a show about memes all day. You'd have them. You'd have them with that. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just looking at circumstantial evidence. It does look like She-Ra may possibly be done.
But it could turn out that we're wrong, which is possible.
I'm not gonna watch either way, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
checked out after the first season.
I just don't really care. I mean, I'll watch it because I have to review it, but that's about it. So.
Okay, so anything else you want to add to this?
I don't think there's anything we can add to this. I think we've said plenty about She-Ra.
Over
the years.
Does that mean we're done talking about She-Ra if they cancel She-Ra? They won't ever actually cancel it either. They'll just be like, we're not making more.
They'll just fade into the obscurity.
Yeah.
And they'll make it, because they might get an announcement it'll be somehow about misogyny. Oh, the She-Ra hating men won. It's like, because they can never, address the fact there's a lot of women who don't like it either. Heaven forbid we acknowledge that.
Well, that's what happened. Netflix won't officially announce that it's been canceled. They just won't make any more. And people wonder for 2 or 3 years, they'll be like, where's more She-Ra? And
Mattel will hopefully come out and save it, and they'll be like, yeah.
And Mattel will be like, oh, we're bringing She-Ra on the new show. Bring her in.
Why don't they give She-Ra her own show?
Well, I suppose they could do that, too.
Yeah,
they could just reboot She-Ra.
Show, and then the He-Man can come over there, and she can come over there,
He-Man could be the guest star.
Like they used to.
He-Man could be the guest star.
Shows, so.
They did. They used to have, like, this magical portal they would just waltz on through whenever they felt like it. It almost felt like He-Man would come through the portal, and you could almost hear if they had the canned laughter in the studio, guest starring He-Man.
Yeah.
Guest starring Orko. But yeah, I think it's over. I think it's done. I don't know.
I don't know either. We'll see.
We'll wrap this one up. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants here on Clownfish TV. We will talk to you later.
Bye.
Goodbye. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.